Good afternoon, this is Robin Bieber on the European Midday Roundup and Good Morning America Chart Talk on the 19th of May at 12 o'clock in the morning London time. The chart in front of us, just to recap on one of the points I made earlier today, is weekly RBOB, and this is the key resistance, 105.59. We really need RBOB, front month RBOB, over that level, 105.59, to be giving us some more objectives higher and be giving confidence to the market generally. Targets have been hit and not closed above on all but Brent. Every contract yesterday hit its target higher but did not close over those targets. Those targets were to 32.40 on WTI, 102.80 on heating oil, 105.59, this number here on gasoline, and 300.5 on gas oil. Now, if we look at the morning's activity, we have not breached those target levels, which would green light further objectives above the market, nor have we taken out the key component of them, which is the 105.59 level on RBOB. Now, this is a 60-minute chart, and this is this morning's activity, just giving up some ground, holding a 34-hour moving average, and now it's beginning to look like it might have done enough. However, the jury is far from out on that, and we could easily dip back a little bit further. Equally, on RBOB, the front month here, the 60-minute chart here has just popped positive, suggesting that maybe the correction lower from last night's strong closes is beginning to falter, and we may see some firmness coming into the market. That may well be the case. But now if we take each contract bit by bit, here, WTI, this is July WTI, it needs to move over the DEC 2018 low at 32.40 to give it the confidence to move higher to 34.72. The pivot for it is 32.40. It hit that level yesterday but did not close over. So 32.40 gives it a target to 34.72. In the meantime, it's marking time, pushing a bit higher, but wait for developments. Brent has a target higher on gasoline on RBOB moving over 105.59. It requires a target higher at 36.29 to 40. It's got some work to do. It's struggling a little, but it may well start to firm later in the afternoon. Heating oil has had a pretty good morning, but it slipped back below the rather important 55-day moving average at 100.40. If it stays below there, it could easily dip back further to the continuation 55 at 98.09. It hasn't got any further upside unless it can move over 102.80, the 13-week moving average. We've talked about RBOB. The key there is that, first of all, it doesn't move back much below 98.20. That would be bad news, and it's got quite some way to go for that. But it's got to move over 105.59 to be giving it another target higher to 107.57. Meanwhile, the 105.59 is the most important resistance pivot on the board. Gas oil has run up and hit its 13-week moving average at 300.5, and it's now back down below it, and it's also below the 55-day at 298.25. And whilst in that condition, it certainly has no targets higher. It needs to get over 300.5, the 13-weeker, to give it an objective up to 321.50. In a nutshell, the contracts have all raced higher up until yesterday and including yesterday, hit their targets higher in all but Brent's case, and settled back below. They now need moves and closes over those target zones to give us the next leg higher. Otherwise, we're vulnerable to a little bit of a correction back, which could easily happen on some profit taking. It is still very much a question of too much too soon. The 5-day gaps are massive, so don't be surprised by a little bit more weakness on a correction. But I suspect that any correction that occurs from here will be absorbed by the support lower, and that a breakdown is unlikely. And if we look at a little bit of structure, first front-end structure on WTI, it's hit its targets. It's on the July org, it's trying to hold the minus 57 level. It needs to move and close above here to have a target to minus 31. It's beginning to look a little bit toppy. The similar spread on Brent, it looks okay whilst it's above minus 40 and could easily head up into backwardation, but right now it's beginning to look toppy if you see the 60-minute chart here. And on the back end structure, DEC Red DEC WTI just giving up a bit of ground, but the 60-minute chart is suggesting it's already had its correction for the morning. And if we look at the red deck, sorry, that's June deck on WTI. If we look at red deck on WTI, it's just giving up a little bit of ground and it's got to hold the minus 325 level. Otherwise, it'll correct more. The 60-minute chart is suggesting some upside. And the red deck on Brent has done enough at the moment. It's hit its target again at minus 365. It needs to move and close over there to have a target to minus 266. The 60-minute chart over on the left here is suggesting that the correction now has done enough and that it should begin to firm a bit. So jury's out pretty much on everything for the afternoon. Wouldn't be too surprised to see pullbacks, further pullbacks, and as we seek out better support lower and calm down. Equally, we could easily rally later. So watch those key resistance levels that we mentioned coming in on WTI at 32.40, heat 102.80, critical on RBOB at 105.59, and the 13-weeker on Gasol at 300.5. That's all for today. Good luck, good trading, and